everybody. Welcome to Nerds with Alcohol. I'm Chris.
I'm Russ.
And this is episode 426.
426 back in the virtual nerd basement. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on this very expensive Tuesday.
Expensive for you.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money today. I had to pay my property taxes and I had an $800 and some odd dollar bill for my car.
I would feel bad about you having to pay your property taxes if you had a house payment too. All you have is your tax payments, so I don't want to hear it.
True. No, I mean it is, and as
you can plan for taxes,
right? Oh, and as property taxes go, mine are pretty reasonable. At $2,000 for the roughly $2,000 for the month. It's a little under. I mean, for the month, for the year, and
this is the winter taxes, not the because you got winter.
No,
summer
that's for the summer taxes are like the big one.
Yeah,
and then the winter tax is like $100.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you get no services in the winter. I was just at Paulie's last night, and his street's a sheet of fucking ice.
Yeah, we were. And then I had to pay 2 parking tickets because you can't park on my street in the morning from like
What's up, CD?
From like 7 to like 2 in the afternoon or something like that, and I forgot. And
is it only like on a certain day or something like that?
Yeah, on Tuesdays you can't park because of the garbage pickup. And it happens probably every other year for me. Once I'll forget, and
then you'll get the $30 reminder.
And get caught. Yeah. Well, it's $15 if you pay it within 2 days or 3 days. Then it doubles or it goes up to like 30, 35. And if you miss the fucking due date, it's like 85. So yeah, and then Stella got one too, but hers was she got hers last week, and I was able to. I said I'd pay it, and so it was $100. That was fun. And then, and then it was a little over $800 to basically rebuild my exhaust system in my car. They were like, well, we really should probably replace the whole thing, but I know you don't really want to spend that kind of money, and I'd rather have you not have to spend $1,600 in parts. So let's see what we can do. So they worked with what they got, replaced what they had to, and it cost me a little over $8. So that was pretty cool, I guess, And I don't have a resonator now, so my car does sound a little beefier than it should. But it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not. They had to cut the resonator out, and so they're like, yes, it sounds a little beefier than it should, but it's a lot quieter.
You got some loud pipes on there now. You get one of those big fat exhaust things at the end, and you can you sound like one of them kids with their little
my rusted out shitbox.
Yeah, your rusted out shitbox. That could sound like one of their little. The little economy sports cars that they fix up and fucking giant
spoilers on and shit.
Giant spoilers on the back to a 4-cylinder car.
A big air intake in the front. You can barely see. The funny thing is, so I went after I got done with that. I went and got some lunch, and I didn't really eat much yesterday because my car was in the shop, and I wasn't gonna fucking DoorDash for it's ridiculous. And I just didn't feel like walking to the Wendy's or whatnot. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm just eat scraps from around here. So I went and got a decent burger and a meal, and I came out and my car was covered in bird shit. Like covered in bird shit. I'm like, where most of the birds are south. What the fuck? Well, there's still a lot of sparrows and stuff.
Yeah.
And birds will stay close to power, like power lines and stuff because the power lines are warm.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll stay on the power lines and shit. And I was right under like a big telephone pole with a bunch of power lines. And I look up and I'm like, there were birds. There must have been a shit ton of birds up there. So now tomorrow I got to run to the
fucking grackles.
Probably. Now I gotta tomorrow run to the fucking gas station. Yeah. So that's fun. So it's been a day. So and I still got to go grocery.
Darius, welcome back.
I still got to go grocery shopping, and I still got to pay the monthly bills tomorrow.
I have watched Stranger Things. Darius, Russ is not. He's still like a season and a half behind.
Oh man, I'm fucking way behind. But it's
I
okay.
am caught up. I am waiting for the last episode tomorrow.
we can
can't wait.
talk. We can still talk. Spoilers. I don't care. It's not going to stop me from watching it. So I enjoy the show. I basically I watched the mall season. I
Hmm.
think that's season 2 or
Uh-huh.
is that 3? Yeah,
That's the Mall is season 3.
is it?
Yeah,
God.
that's 4th of July.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
first two are around Halloween. The third one's in the summer,
I
and
might need to start over. Like it's been so long. Like I'm way behind. Like I might
you
have to
know,
start over and watch it again.
yeah, we'll talk about that, Darius, because I honestly I thought that same thing, especially in this last episode. Um, the it's like they're in a fucking video game. There's a really touching moment in this episode 6 though too, or
Oh,
7,
we'll get to.
whatever it is. Yeah, 7.
We can talk about that
Yeah.
in the show. How was your week?
Pretty good. Had a good weekend, good Christmas. Um, Mostly relaxing. Played Magic with my brother-in-laws, who people know from the Tavern Nights show as Rich and Pete, or in this case, Tindril and Zolan. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and we played that. We played Friday night, and then um, last night I actually played Magic over at Paulie's house. Those that
Yeah.
don't know,
And
Paulie, he's been
Stefan
on.
was there.
Yeah, Paulie's been on our show.
So is
Stefan has
Stefan.
too,
Yeah.
which he reminded me of because I didn't remember him. He looked familiar, but I didn't.
Shame on you.
But I didn't remember him. Um, but he did say we were the inspiration for him to start his own podcast. So being on our
Oh, that's
podcast
fucking great.
he does a Magic the Gathering podcast.
Oh, that's fucking great. I didn't
Which
realize. I've
here
actually
I'll
known
even plug
Stefan.
it. I'll even plug it here if you're into Magic the Gathering. I haven't checked it out yet, but I did put a thing down to go check it out. Where is it? There it is. It is Guided Passage Magic the Gathering, or MTG.
That's cool.
Guided
I've actually
Passage
known
MTG.
Stefan longer than I've known you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But really nice guy. I'm also wearing my my new Stone Clover T-shirt that
Very
I've
cool.
had for a while, but it's the first time I'm actually wearing it. But yeah, had a really good time. Played 3 games, wound up winning 2. The first one I think was kind of by accident because it was me, Paulie, Stefan, and Skip. And we're all sitting around playing because we were the first 4 there, and Paulie wound up out. He's like, "No, I'm scooping. I'm done. You guys are just going to kill me anyway." And so the 3 of us kept going, and they were like, "Well, I don't want to just be mean to the new guy and just kill him." So they let me build, and that was the
Oh,
mistake. They were just going
see
after
that?
each other, and they just kind of ignored me, and as they were fighting each other, and I just kind of sat there, and all of a sudden I hit a point where my deck went off, and they're like, "Oh shit, he's the threat." um
That's funny.
and then the second game I lost the guy that I was playing against. It was me, Skip, and another guy, and he had this card that just wiped both me and Skip out at once. Both of us had around 30 health. He drew 30 cards, which cost him 30 life, took him down to 1, but he had another card that let him gain 1 life back for every card he drew. So he basically negated that what he took, and then he had a card that did 1 point of damage to every other player for every card in his hand.
Jesus.
So he just wiped us out because he had like 38 cards in his or 37 cards in his hand, something like that. So but it was a good time. Had a great time. I actually look forward to going back and playing. Paulie said that he's like, "You're welcome to come over, any of the Mondays that we play." So I may start doing that. I can't do it next week, and the week after is I can probably do it the week after, but I can't do it next week because I'm going to be in Grand Rapids. But I did have a really good time. There were like eight or 9 people there. We had 2 tables going, 4 players
wow.
each. It was a good time. Paulie put out a taco bar, and
Wow.
as it was for the
All right.
holiday, because it was like the holiday party. So he did a taco bar, and he had some charcuterie and stuff, and it was really good.
I wish I could have come by, but like I said, my car was
Yeah.
in the shop, and
Yeah, and I'm like,
I
"Oh,
haven't
yeah, he
played.
ain't that far. He could walk." And Paulie's like, "Really? In this weather?" I'm like, "I
No.
didn't say it was going to be a fun walk, but
No, it's about a mile.
yeah."
It's about a mile, maybe a little less. Maybe, yeah, it's probably about a mile. But yeah, I'm not walking in the cold. Fuck that. I haven't played Magic in a while. I would probably, and my cards are old.
Dude,
Like,
we should go through your cards, see what you got, because I bet you have, like me, you have some cards that are actually worth some shit.
oh yeah, no, there's a store, there's a game shop like that specializes mostly in Magic over down on John R. Just up the road actually, between like I don't know 10 and 11, and
I didn't know that.
just just for shits and giggles, I walked in there and I was like, oh okay, cool. It's like you guys buy cards, and like yeah we do. It's like good. I got Magic cards from Beta in a box in two boxes at home that are just kind of collecting dust. You want to take a look at them, and they kind of I could see the guy salivating, and so they did call me. I gotta do that. I gotta just swing them in because I'm not gonna take the time that it would take to sell them online.
Yeah,
Um,
I might I might go the route of going through Rich's buddy that
I will not.
that does it through an auction house.
Oh, he does it? Okay, that's cool. I will not take. I mean, there will come a point. There is a point. I'm like, I know what I got here. Um, and I'm not going to settle for like a ridiculously low number. Like one of those like, yeah, I'll give you like, $50 for the box. Fuck you very much, dude. I got lands in here worth three times that much. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I've been scanning my collection. I've got maybe half of it done, and I'm at about $6,500.
Yeah. I mean, I
Now, a
scanned
lot of
just
that
the,
is tied up in like 10 cards that are all the dual lands
yeah,
that are all worth 400 plus. So,
just the lands alone that I had was like almost 2 grand, you know? And I'm like, now being a collector, mainly of comic books, I know that if you take your collection to a shop, they've got overhead.
mhm.
They're going to try and get a deal. They're not going to give you your full value.
Mm-mm. You'll get
Plus,
more in store credit if you're willing to take store credit than they
if
will
you're
in
willing to take
cash.
store credit, yeah. Plus, they are also like, um, what the apps say may not be the most accurate. Like I've got the app for collectibles.com, and it's a pretty good app, collectibles.com. Can't really see because it's
Yeah,
too shiny. But
it's just
it's
light.
just white. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I dig it, and I mean I was able to scan my comics or scan some comics actually for somebody else, and I was like, holy shit, these are really valuable. And I was like, you need to, I think I told you about it. I ran into that coffee shop on John R. and Hazel Park, and they had an old comic book collection that they were just kind of just in the corner there, and they're like, yeah, $5 a book, and I'm like, these books are worth a lot more than that. You really need this. And had to show the guy because he had no idea. It was his brother's collection that had passed away. I was like, really, you need to see this. And I pulled up this app and started scanning his books, and he's like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah. So anyway, but the apps give you a good ballpark, and so I need somebody and if I can get a decent price for them, I'll take it. But I know most of my friends though that would want to buy them couldn't afford probably what the value is. Like
Hmm.
my friends Linda and Chris Holloway down in Florida. I just found out they're working like weekends at a game shop, at a card shop.
Huh.
And I'm like, since when are you into CCGs? And my friend Linda, she's the mermaid down there, and she's like, oh, I've loved Pokemon ever since I was a kid. And I'm like, that's right. Pokemon has been around for quite a while, and she's like Stella's age. And it's just hilarious though to think about that. And then but yeah, her husband got into Magic way late. Like he's our age and he just started playing like last year. And I mentioned that I have cards dating all the way back to the very beginning. And again, I could see him salivating just over the video the
Dude,
video that he sent me.
every time Rich comes over, I'm showing him cards that I found, and I see him like salivating. When he found out I had like 8 demonic tutors, he's like, "What?"
I know those are worth it. And that was the thing.
Those are worth about $40 a piece according to the app that I have.
That was the thing. I never really collected for value. I just went, hey, cool card, and I could put that in my deck. So mine isn't like one that was like cultivated that way. I just have cards that are older from back then that I'm sure some of which are probably worth. Like I don't have a Shivan Dragon, but I'm sure that some of them are
I have a
probably
couple.
worth. Do
Yeah,
you really?
yeah. I have a couple Shivans. That
Yeah.
was one of my favorite cards. I played that card a lot.
That was a good card.
I have one from like second edition and one from fourth, I think. The big thing is trying to figure out what edition they're from
Hmm.
because like second, third are real close, but the difference from what I've been seeing is second edition doesn't have the copyright date at the bottom where third
Mm,
edition does. And
okay.
fourth edition has something else that they added. And the thing is the apps, like the Mana Box app that I'm using to scan the cards, always gets the edition wrong because it never thinks I have one of the old editions unless it's got like the dark symbol on it, like the
Mm,
little crescent moon from the dark edition expansion or one of the expansions. It never comes up with the right one. Like it I'm like scanning cards that I know are like second edition or third edition, and they're like it's like this is the 2-player introductory set, and I'm like, no, I don't even know what the fuck that is. But what's funny is some of the newer cards are actually worth more than the old sets. Because like when I go in and change it, it'll say like this is like a $3.30 card. And I'm like, oh, let's see what it is in second edition. Let's change it to the right edition then. Oh, it's second edition, 30 cents.
right. Yeah. And that's what I'm afraid of. Like I'll scan it in the thing and then it'll read it as, wow, this is a $50 land card. How did that happen? And then, well, it'll be, oh, it's actually 50 cents. It's really because it's the wrong edition. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck. So, but like I said, even so,
Yep. But anyway, so that's mostly what I did was all that stuff. Had a great time. Looking forward to playing D&D this Friday. So,
me too.
how about
Me
you?
too.
How was your week? I mean, other than spending the money.
Christmas was, yeah. I mean, it's something I have to do every year. I mean, it's
Hell
good
no,
that I've
CD.
got it.
They're worth too much money. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? I never put cards in my spokes, man. Um,
I did
but
once,
yeah,
but it was a
it's
playing card.
a playing card, maybe
Yeah.
from a regular deck of
Yeah.
cards, but yeah, just had to spend that annual money and whatnot. I mean, if I finance it like throughout the year, it's like a 1%, finance, base or 1% interest because I don't pay it in the summer, and I just like to pay it all at the end of the year. But there is a part of me that's like, maybe I should just pay it during the summer because that's when I'm like gigging a lot and stuff. I'm making extra money,
Mm-hmm.
but I just sock it away. Um, Christmas it was all right. It was relatively drama free, but I was treated to my nephew being a spaz again. And I just watch I just watch my sister like dealing with my nephew so much. Every time I get together with him and I've said before, this kid has more ADHD than an entire classroom of 8-year-olds. And I'm just like I get upset because I see what he puts my sister through and also my father and mother because they're very active in helping care for him. It's just a lot. And like it has extreme ADHD and then he's also I believe he did get diagnosed that he is autistic, but he's kind of low grade autistic.
Mm-hmm.
Um he's doing better at school. He's not acting out quite as much, he's not like shitting on the floor, so they'll send him home.
Right.
I mean, he did that a couple of times, you know, and that's the thing too. Poor sister, it's not like she can just go in and say, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Let me help clean this up." They're like, "No, this is a hazmat now. We have to call in a
Mm-hmm.
special team to clean up your son's shit." So, um, he's better about that. But I mean, he sat at the table and he doesn't ever eat. He's got to be starving all the time, but he doesn't eat. He only eats very, very specific things. And I mean, kids are picky. And kids will be, oh, I only want to eat chicken strips or I only eat whatever. This kid won't eat chocolate. He doesn't like candy. Um, and on the other side, at the other end of it, he doesn't like vegetables either. You'd think like maybe if he didn't like candy, maybe he did. No. Um, like he only eats like plain noodles. And I'm like, how is this kid getting any nutrients? You know, I mean, Jesus Christ. He sat him in front of, he sat at the table and my mother made him some plain pasta. We had a very Italian dinner, by the way. It was really awesome.
Okay.
Fresh homemade pasta, meat sauce, gnocchi and spaghetti. It was fabulous. But my mom sets a plate of plain spaghetti in front of him, and he starts like shoveling it into his face with his hands. I'm like, "Hey, you're not four. Use your fork." And he's like, "Ugh," and then he starts punching it and stuff, and I'm like, "No." He's like, "I got a bunch of presents over here. I will take them back to the store." And that calmed him down a little bit, but it was still like, God damn, man. I just worry about him. I worry he's always gonna be like this. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard, dude. Yeah, exactly, CD. What? He's such just crazy, and he's not stupid. That's the insane part here is he's a smart kid. You can tell. Like I said, he figured out what he has to do so he doesn't have to go to school or get sent home. He will make a mess of himself, and then they'll send him home. It's just crazy. Um, I I my heart breaks for these families that have to deal with with special needs kids, neurodivergence that are that extreme.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But that was my Christmas. The rest of the day, the rest of the time, relatively quiet. Sunday, we were supposed to go to my sister's for my mom's birthday, but then my mom canceled. So, uh, so yeah, just kind of trying to chill. I'm finally feel like I've been able to start to relax
Mm-hmm.
because I was gigging so much during December, and I just finally am able. Um, Take the sugar and caffeine away. See, that's the thing, CD. He doesn't get caffeine ever, and he doesn't like sugar. He's not a he hates chocolate. He hates candy. My sister doesn't like really feed him a whole lot of sugar, and all he wants to eat is, like plain pasta and goldfish crackers. And it's like, do they give him a multivitamin? I sure as shit hope so. I don't know. I don't know. There's a part of me that's the Gen Xer in me is kind of like you know back in my day,
Yeah.
it's like
I got my ass whooped for that
yeah,
kind of
we
shit.
were doing on. I wasn't allowed to do that at the dinner table. I got my ass booked, but we don't do that shit anymore. So, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean he is medicated. My sister chose not to medicate him for Christmas, hoping that maybe he'd eat better because sometimes the meds.
Exactly,
But
CD. You eat what's on the table.
yeah, exactly. You eat what's on the table, and you don't use your hands to
Now,
shovel
one of the
spaghetti
one of
into
the
your
things I will
face.
say that was a problem back in our day, that I know I did to my daughter too, and it's something that now I'm like I look back and I'm like I have to unlearn this behavior. It's clean your plate.
Right,
That is actually an unhealthy thing. You should eat until you're full, not until all your food's gone.
right. Yes. That being said, then you have to try and teach the kid not to take more than they think they're gonna try and
Well,
eat.
right. But the thing
But
is that it's also that tends to create overeaters. You start
right.
eat when you feel like you have to clean your plate,
Hmm.
especially like when you go out to to a restaurant or something. It's I'm always like, yeah, just give me a box now because I'm taking half of this home.
Well, yeah,
Because
that's why a
because
lot of restaurants are doing better with their portioning.
mm-hmm,
You're not getting quite as much. But the problem with that is then, but we're still paying as much.
mm-hmm.
We used to pay and we used to get enough for essentially two
But
meals.
but the thing is that what's happening now though is that the price of food's going up, but the
Right.
price at the restaurants is going up a little, but it's not going up necessarily as much because they're lowering the portion sizes while still
Right.
maintaining the same price. So it's a balancing act.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
Yeah,
and
it
the
is.
portion of the price cuts is pricey as hell. You ain't kidding, man. Man, I tell
Nope.
you, going out to eat has gotten exponentially more expensive.
Yep. Yes, it has.
Um, otherwise though, Christmas was nice. I didn't get a whole lot, but I mean, I got like a $50 gift card from my folks, from Visa card, and then um, which I don't really expect much. You know, I don't expect them to get me anything. I got a little something from uh my sister got me a little Darth Vader, like it holds your phone while it's charging, or
Mm,
your it's not a charger, but it holds it while it's charging, or
yeah.
your game controller too. It holds a PlayStation controller. And that was cute. And then Stella got me a couple of books. She got me Daggerheart, so that's cool. And then she got me a book about the history of the goth subculture, written by one of the guys from The Cure. So that's kind of cool. And she got me Krampus by Gerald Brom, the artist Brom. He wrote a book, basically his take on the legend of Krampus. And I'm like, so you know, obviously fiction. It's not a historical account or anything, but since I've been playing Krampus, it was kind of a cool gift. You know, it was unexpected. So
I got a from Renee got me a new Lions coat because I needed one. 'Cause my old one is falling apart because I've had it since the
okay.
90s. And she got me one of the new Wings jerseys, the 100-year anniversary jerseys that they're wearing this year that
Oh,
I
right
think are
on.
cool as fucking hell. And it's really nice. And I also got a couple of books. My sister-in-law Jamie got me in the Pete's wife got me in our Secret Santa thing, and she got me Boom,
Oh, nice. I have
Beauregard.
that one. Mm-hmm.
She got me Lord
Cool.
Stone,
Mhm. I've got that.
and she got me Caduceus Clay.
Very cool. Yeah, I have all three of those. I'm pretty much if Darrington Press puts something out, I bought it. I buy
Yeah.
it.
Have you
I'm
bought
it's
Daggerheart yet?
supporting. Huh?
Have you bought Daggerheart yet?
You weren't listening. Yeah, Stella got it for me for
Oh,
Christmas.
okay, that's right. That was I was listening. I didn't internalize.
But I also got uh
Is it the full box with
yeah,
everything in
yeah,
it?
it's
Yeah,
the with the cards and everything.
yeah.
I bought it for myself. I got the Fresh Cut Grass little like kids book that they put out,
Mm.
the Smiley Day kind of thing. I was like, oh, that's cute. And
The
when
one
I
that's
was
the one
because
that's that Sam did while he was sitting on the floor after having his tantrum as a diva.
yeah,
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 it's a Smiley Day.
Smiley Day. It's super cute. It's really very cute. And then well, when I pretty much did most of my Christmas shopping at Barnes and Noble using Stella's discount. It was like, hey, Mom, what kind of books would you like to read this year? So I got that, and I also got this DK Dragons, Dungeons and Dragons, you know, just a book about the Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm.
So here's something I kind of fun. I This failed on
Mm.
me yesterday. It didn't fully print because my power went out
Oh,
in the middle of a print because I printed this up for the or printed I did a second one and it fully printed, but I printed it for the guys at the shop,
mm.
the auto shop I go to. They take pretty good care of me. So I was like, and they're sports fans. So I was like, hey, let's make a and but yeah, the power went out for like 15 minutes. And thankfully when it went back on, my my printer actually recognized that. It's like, hey, there was interruption in power. Do you want me to do you want it to continue the print? I went, sure, yeah, but it had cooled off enough that it it pulled away from the
Oh,
it accidentally pulled away from the plate, and I was like,
yeah.
oh man. That was like this was like 5 hour or 4 hours in, I think maybe. I was like, fuck me.
Looks nice.
Yeah, I mean it turned out it took the first two were false starts, but in the third one I had to adjust the temperature a little bit. By the third one I had temp this is regular PLA, so
So
but
CD
it turned out
said,
okay.
yeah,
Sorry.
CD said that his oldest got the last D&D player's manual, so she has 2 players and 1 dungeon master.
Oh, cool.
Those are crazy textbooks and long ones. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
really
are.
kind of are. They kind of are.
Yeah.
Yep. Um,
That's one of the criticisms always about the Dungeon Master manual, not so much the player's handbook, but the Dungeon
uh,
Master guide reads very much like a kind of like a textbook.
yeah, well,
It's
the new one especially because they put the
Mhm.
campaign setting in there
Right.
and things like that, so they made it's actually longer than previous versions.
Yeah.
I used to have the old first edition Dungeon Master's Guide though. I had that thing memorized, not memorized like as in I could recite every rule that was in there,
But you
but
had it down.
I knew exactly what page things were on. And actually, there was
Mm.
one night I was like, we were sitting around and somebody said something. I said, "Oh, that's on this page," and they're like, "Really?" And they look and they're like, "Oh shit, it is." Like, what about this? And they
They
start
started
looking, and
testing you.
I went, "Well," then they said, "Well, what about this?" And they start looking for it. I said, "Oh, that's on this page," and they went, "Yeah." All right, hold on. And then they're looking through the book and they're like, "What page is this on?" And I told them, "Fuck, I got every single one of them right."
That's
I was in
awesome.
that. I was a DM that was running a weekly game.
Right. Yeah.
I was in the DM's guide all the time.
All the time. And that was probably before D&D Beyond was we were
Oh
using
wait, yeah,
that so much.
way before,
Yeah.
yeah. Now
Hmm.
now it's like what page? I don't know. Look it up on D&D Beyond.
Yeah. Gotta admit, super convenient.
That
Super
doesn't always
convenient.
work. It's sometimes it's easier for me to find it in the book than it is on D&D Beyond, but
Sure.
not
Yeah.
often.
I mean, it's not perfect,
If
but
I want to
it's a
look up a
pretty good
spell, if I want
tool.
to look up a spell or something like that, I just D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Dewey
something
D&D
simple.
Decimal System.
Yeah.
um,
That's pretty
but yeah.
great.
So, what are you drinking?
Um, I am drinking J.K. Scrumpy's Northern Neighbor, the Northern Neighbor version, farmhouse cider. The wild Saskatoon berry. So it says Saskatoon. J.K. Scrumpy's is a Michigan brewery. It's fucking fantastic.
It's cidery,
Grown,
actually,
pressed,
I believe.
fermented, and bottled by Almar Orchards in Flushing, Michigan. We invite you to celebrate the collaboration of a few passionate American and Canadian farmers. The fruits of their labor are presented in this bottle, a family reunion of sorts. This delightful cider is made from Michigan apples and a unique Canadian prairie berry, the Saskatoon. Gathered by J.K. from family orchards in Michigan and Saskatchewan, this natural cider has been carefully fermented here at Almar Orchards using our traditional methods. We hope you enjoy sharing this cider that knows no borders with friends, family, and neighbors. I got to admit, J.K. Scrumpy's, a couple of ciders that they make, some of my favorite fucking ciders. Because we were talking about last week, apple ciders are apple ciders. I mean, unless it is like Rainbow Seeker with pineapple or, Black Phillip with the blood orange.
Strawberry Magic
Strawberry
or
Magic. There's unless it's got a particular mixture, it's just an apple cider, and they can be clean and they can be crisp and they can taste good. But a lot of them taste very similar because it's just an apple cider. There's not a whole lot to do it. They're just fermenting an apple cider, and they're adding, a little bit of carbonation. They're adding whatever. But there's a lot of them are like, okay, it's a good cider, whatever. Um, it's either good or it's bad. Sometimes they're like, this is too dry or whatever. This one has got a lot of great flavor. It tastes, and it's relatively just an apple cider.
it's got the Saskatoon in it too.
It's got the Saskatoon in it, but
I don't even know what
it
a
really
Saskatoon
more,
tastes like. I've had
whatever.
that
I've
cider.
never heard of this
Yeah.
berry. Um, all it really does, in my opinion, is enhance the apple flavor. It's a little vinegary in that but in a good way. It's got a little sharp taste of like an apple cider vinegar, but in a really good way. Like when your apple cider that you get from the
Huh.
cider mill starts to turn a little bit, but it's still good,
Hmm.
It's got this really great apple cider,
So
like cider mill apple cider flavor. I love it. I think it's great.
so the Saskatoon looks like a
Yes.
blueberry.
Okay.
It's very close to a blueberry, and it says that it tastes like a mix of sweet blueberry and apple,
Okay.
with a distinct nutty almond-like undertone from the seeds, described as earthy, sweet, and sometimes tangy when less ripe.
Okay. So
Rich
that
in
I mean,
antioxidants, so that's good. So like the
well,
blueberry.
a lot of blueberry. If it's related to the blueberry at all, then yeah, it's got a
I
lot
don't
of
know that
blueberry.
it's related to it, but it looks like it.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Well, when it comes to
Oh, it's
berries,
actually a member of the rose family.
Really? It's
Yeah,
related to the rose?
yeah. It says it's
Hmm.
Native North America. It is a member of the rose family and bears an edible berry-like fruit.
Interesting. So anyway, that's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking?
I am drinking something that I've seen it on the shelves for a little bit now. I've been thinking about trying it. I hadn't yet, but it is this coppery color, kind of a red. It actually is a red um, color. This is Founder's Red Sweater IPA.
Okay.
It is a red IPA. Doesn't actually have any description or anything on here other than that it is 6.5%. And 55 IBUs, so not crazy high in the IBUs. So what it was I was out, went and oh, that was another thing I did. I went to a golf simulator with Rich and Pete on Saturday.
A
Uh,
golf simulator?
yeah, yeah, it's where you take your golf clubs and you're inside and you're hitting against a screen. You're just hitting
Right.
real golf balls and you hit them against the screen and it basically traject. We played St Andrews in Scotland. Played 9 holes. Had a great time, but they have a bar there. It's attached to Sidecar Sliders up on Hayes and Hall Road.
Okay.
Um,
Not familiar.
yeah, so it's the old Tilted Kilt.
Oh,
If you remember where Tilted Kilt was up there.
sure.
Tilted Kilt closed, and they put a Sidecar Sliders, and they had a little extra room, so I think they put like 4 bays in for golf simulators, and it's called First Cut Golf. And
Okay.
anyway, a buddy of mine from curling gave me a couple of gift cards to go up there. He had gotten them for free. We got like 2 hours for free to play and had a good time. But one of they had Founders Red's Rye IPA, which is a red rye IPA, which is absolutely one of my favorite beers of all time. I truly love it. I actually went over to Total Wine to see if I could find it because I'm like, you know what, I want some of this. And I go over there and I was talking with the guy. I'm like, I'm looking for this. He's like, yeah, we don't get it in cans. It's only available in kegs and only to certain uh uh craft brewery or microbrew places
Yeah.
like brew houses.
Hmm.
And I'm like, damn. But I went to Kroger later on and I saw the red sweater and I went, you know what? Fuck it, I'll try it. And it's not Red's Rye, but it's damn close, and it's really fucking good. I
Hmm.
like it a lot. I'm gonna get
Okay.
some. I'm actually almost out of the 12 pack I bought on Saturday, and I need to pick some up for Friday, so I have it for the game because I'm probably gonna be drinking it at the game this week. So
Alrighty. So JK Scrumpy's Northern Neighbor farmhouse cider from JK's. You have got Founders
red sweater,
uh, Red
red sweater
Sweater
IPA, which
IPA.
I would say this is a 4.25. This is 4.25 at least.
Okay. Yeah, this is
But
these
they
are
do
not these are 5.5.
Yeah, these go down way too easy though. They just sit around talking with somebody, just you're sipping on it, you're sipping on it, you're sipping. Oh, I need another one. Oh, you're sipping on it, you're sipping on it, you're sipping on it, and oh, I need another one. It's
Hmm.
you don't realize how fast they're going down sometimes, but they are really good. Like I've already drank half of this one in the first 45 minutes of our show or 40 minutes of
Right
our
on.
show.
40 minutes here. Well, cool. Well, we should probably move on and get into the
Yes.
nitty and the
So
gritty.
well we hopefully still have. I don't know if we still have Darius on or not, but he brought up Stranger Things.
Yeah,
So they released 4 episodes at Thanksgiving, three
right.
episodes Christmas Eve, and then they're releasing the last episode tomorrow.
They're actually also putting it in select theaters too, so you
Are
can
they?
go and see. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's an oversized episode,
Hmm.
but it is the series finale.
Yes. Yes. This is
So
the
it
series
is,
finale.
yeah.
So one of the things that he brought up is in this last episode, episode 6, or no, sorry, episode 7. Um, they they kind of go overboard. So the whole for those that aren't following Stranger Things, the whole idea is that it's this town in Indiana. There's a link to an alternate world. They call it the Upside Down.
Hmm.
And they tie D&D into it. It's set in the 80s. It starts off in 83. This last season's in 87. Um, and the kids have aged 10 years during the time on the show, but
Right.
they've only aged 4 years in the show. Um,
And they tie D&D into it in such a way as that that's how the kids are relating
yes,
to
right.
these characters,
They see
this horrible thing.
the first creatures, and they call them Demogorgons.
Hmm.
Because that's what they were fighting, and like why the fuck they were fighting the Demogorgon. Although I remember
Yeah.
back then, first edition, you fought things like Demogorgon and Orcus
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Now you go, oh, that's Demogorgon. We're gonna go this way.
We're gonna leave now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna. You got that teleport ready? Come on, come on. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
You're gonna fight a
I don't care
fucking
if we wind up inside of a rock. Let's go.
yeah. We can't fight a Prince of Hell. We can't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Can't do
No,
it.
that's Demon Lord.
Or Demon Lord. Yeah.
Yeah. But they've been progressing the whole legend, and they brought the big bad. They called him Vecna, things like that. Overall, though, it's been an entertaining show. I really like it. The nostalgia's there. They get the '80s right. It's not all bright fluorescence. The houses are brown.
Although it's funny though, because I have seen people I bitch about a few of the mistakes and inconsistencies. I think at one point they show a kid playing a Nintendo and they're like, wait a minute, that wouldn't be right.
Well,
We
I've
didn't
actually
have a
looked a few
Nintendo
things up
yet.
because like they make a reference to Chernobyl, and I'm like, wait, when the fuck did Chernobyl happen? And it would have happened like that year or the year before that they were talking about it, because they talk about Chernobyl in this latest one. The one
Which
that
is
I've heard,
interesting since because of they had that Russian element
yeah,
in the game, yeah.
well,
Or in the show.
and there is a big Russian element still.
Hmm.
But the one of the big complaints was last season, Eddie's character, the guy that plays Johnny Storm in the new Fantastic Four, his
Right.
character in there, um, at the end is playing Master of Puppets,
Right.
and it's actually him playing it because he actually learned it for that.
Right.
But they were like, okay, this is set here. That album came out here. That means he learned it that well in 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, dude, particularly back then, metalheads were fucking dedicated, dude. Like
I don't know what you're talking about.
obsessively dedicated.
I don't know
Oh
what you're
man,
talking about.
come on.
Within
How
3
many?
weeks, I had that whole album memorized. I will say
I'm sure
that.
you did. I mean, how many metalheads do we know that when a new album came out from a band that they adored, whether it was Iron Maiden or Metallica or Motley Crue, that album was on in perpetuity. Like, I mean, there
I,
was like
so
if you had it
Master
on
of
tape, it
Puppets.
was in your fucking headset
Yep,
all the time.
Master of Puppets came out. I bought it the day it came out. I went home. I put it in my Walkman. It basically laid in my bed with the liner notes so I could read it and listen to it over and over and over and over and over. It's a 1 hour. It's like a 64-minute album with 8 songs because every song was like 8 minutes long.
Yeah, no, for sure. Master of Puppets a long fucking album.
Ride the Lightning same way.
Yes,
And
not as many if I remember correctly. Not
no,
as many.
64 minutes, 8 songs.
Really?
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
Uh,
That's wild, man.
and Justice for All was about the same length, but had like 2 extra songs. They had taken it down to like 6 or 7 minutes at that point, and then the Black Album came out where everything was like under 4.
Oh, well, the Black Album was made to be a radio played album.
It was their sellout album.
Yeah, it was the album where they were like somebody was like, did they sell out or did they buy in? Because that was when
they sold out.
They sold out. But that was because that was truly when Metallica went commercial. Because before then, they were the biggest metal band in America, but they had one video, one actual made for MTV video, and that was for
One.
One of the longest videos too that had been ever filmed at the time.
That's on the Black Album.
No, it's not.
One is not. It's on Blackened, isn't it?
Mm-mm. It's on the album before the Black Album.
Yeah, and Justice for All then.
It's on Injustice. Is that it?
Yeah, and Justice for All was the last one before they
It's not on one. It's not on.
No, it's not
on the Black Album. because the Black
Yeah, it's
Album,
on And Justice for All. You're right.
yeah, the Black Album was the album that I mean, I had heard Metallica and I'd listened to Metallica, but the Black Album is the album that for
And
me was my true introduction. That was where I was really like,
yeah, it
whoa,
was for a lot of
okay.
people.
And
Wings,
then I went back and listened more so,
I
more deeply,
I
and it
thought
was like, okay.
I thought that the Black Album was a solid album when it came out, and that now I would say it is the upper half of mediocre, compared to the other Metallica albums.
I'd still say it's a
mostly because I don't care for any of the songs on there anymore because they were all over fucking played.
mhm. They were very much overplayed. That is true. But for the first time, they got at least half of those songs on that album got serious radio play.
Yeah, but
And
they were top 40, top 20 even album sales
sure,
without radio
without,
play.
yep, absolutely. Without serious radio play or videos. I mean, they had concert videos, but that was it. They didn't have like
Yeah,
they didn't have an actual filmed video until one. And
their songs
but
were all
yeah,
seven
no,
to
I
eight
get
minutes
it.
long.
I get it, but I think they saw, and I totally understand what you're saying, but I think they saw that they were like, we have to evolve, we have to keep moving, and
No,
the
they
the
said we
future
want more money
and more money, yeah,
and so we need radio play.
and
And
more
that's
money.
what it
But
was.
that's the thing.
It was all about money, and that's actually where I lost a lot of respect for them because, especially for Lars. Lars
Mhm.
is a money grubbing bitch
Oh yeah, no, I know.
because he's the one that
It's
made the big deal about Napster and all
oh
that.
yeah,
And
no, he was the yeah he lost a lot of respect. A lot of the fans lost respect for him for that more specifically than anything else
yeah, nothing else matters,
because
CD, than money.
yeah. Um, but I also think, to some extent, I mean, people still talk about, and they know about Metallica. I mean, Iron Maiden doesn't command the same. Iron Maiden never went that route. They always, in my opinion, they always kind of stuck to their roots and did what they
Hmm.
were doing. And I don't know if they have the same commercial like recognizability as Metallica did. I don't think
Well,
that like I saw, I mean at Sonic Temple this year, Metallica played two sets, two different nights.
yeah,
One set was the newer
they're
shit,
still
one set
huge.
was the older shit. They're still a huge fucking rock
Yeah,
band.
I was Mr.
And
Metallica before Metallica was cool.
right.
Um, and then I actually, when Metallica became cool is when I actually stopped listening to them. I listened to them up through the Black album, and then I bought Fuel, was kind of unimpressed with it, bought
Yep.
Refuel, and went, I'm done.
It's
I
low, it's
or
actually
load and reload.
load,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
load and reload.
load and reload, and then Fuel.
Now see,
Um,
for my money, I feel like Load and Reload were the true sellouts albums because
they were loads, all right.
yeah, because that was when the music, like the look changed and the music changed. The music got a lot even more radio friendly. It was still heavy, but the tonal quality seemed to change for me. It was less.
Yes.
They started to lean into the more alternative kind of style and look, and they cut their hair. They did a lot of that kind of stuff, um, and for me, I feel like the Black Album was kind of their taste. They were like, all right, we're gonna adjust a few things so we get a little more radio play, so we can maybe our fan base will grow a little bit more, whatever. And because that ended up being successful for them, because it was a massively successful album that they milked for 5 years. Um, that when Load came out, I went, okay, no, this is it. This is where they actually fully, truly sell out. And um, I don't know, but you're a much bigger Metallica guy than I am. I like Metallica, I always have, but I mean, they've never been able to kind of reach those heights after
Yeah,
that.
I don't think I I
I
take
think
that
Garage
I
Inc. was okay.
Garage Inc. was good. Um,
It was all covers,
it's
but
all
yeah.
well, and that's the thing. I had Garage Days revisited, which was also great back in the
hmm
day. Where they did a bunch of punk songs.
hmm
Garage Inc. was good. And that's what gets me is so Garage Garage Days revisited. They actually posted on the label, "Do not pay more than this for this album."
Yep.
And then later on, they're just like, "Oh no, give us money, give us all the money, more money, more money, more money."
Well, they're getting old.
Um, yeah, it's the Bowling for Soup song. This song sounds like a dance song where they sing about we've got mortgages and college tuition to pay, and
Yeah.
it's the getting older. Shit, there was
I I don't know how well they invested. I
I
mean, like one of the original members of Guns N' Roses invested heavily in a little company called Starbucks. And at the very beginning, and that guy is now fucking crazy loaded. I think it might be Duff McKagan. Got fucking crazy loaded because he invested and got on the ground floor at Starbucks and is
well,
unbelievably wealthy because of it.
yeah, but so one of the other things that I saw once, it was hilarious. It says, um, it was something about, is this your rock legend? And it showed James Hetfield with like cargo shorts and flip flops on, standing on a sidewalk, looking like a middle aged dad, carrying shopping bags. And they're like, "Is this your rock legend?"
See, he was just saying that Guns N' Roses just had a new song on the radio and it sucked. I actually haven't. I think I might have heard it, but now I can't remember. I might have heard
I
it.
I don't like Axel. I don't like Axel Rose. I think he's a
Oh
douche.
man. Axel, yes, he has always been a douche. He was a douche back in the day, and he's a douche now.
I would
But
never, ever, ever pay to go see them with the shit he pulls.
yeah, and well, like when they toured with Metallica and people rioted because that was when Hetfield got burned,
Hmm.
and in Phoenix, I was there. I was in Phoenix at the time, and they were touring together. It was the biggest metal tours ever,
Two of
because
the two of the
Guns N'
biggest
Roses
albums.
was, yeah,
They're
Guns
two of
N'
the biggest
Roses was
bands.
touring on Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Metallica was touring on Black, and it was one of the biggest fucking. It was huge. Hetfield got burned by
Huge,
one of those
huge.
huge. Um, Hetfield got burned by one of those pyrotechnics.
Hmm.
He had to go to the hospital like halfway through their set. Guns N' Roses was already late, and they were late. They let the crowd just fester and fester and fester. And Axel was drunk and an asshole, and he finally said, "Fuck it, we're not going on." And the crowd rioted.
Hmm.
The crowd fucking destroyed that venue, and people got hurt. I don't know. I can't remember if anybody died, but people got really hurt, and it was a mess. And Guns N' Roses. That was I feel that was spelling the near the end of Guns N' Roses. And the wild thing is too is if you look at Axl Rose now, holy shit, that
So,
motherfucker has aged poorly.
oh yes, he has. He looks like an old woman now.
Old woman.
Yeah,
He looks like a scary old
yeah.
lady,
Um,
like a
but we
bag
got
lady.
but we got way off topic there.
We were
We were
way
talking about
off topic.
we were talking about Stranger Things. So it's set in the 80s.
Right.
And so at the end of last season, there was a big thing where Hawkins was like split in four, and there were all these portals open to the upside down and all this. And a military base was built there. Basically, they cordoned off the whole town.
Mm.
They quarantined it. Um, and so that's where it is here. And in this last episode, they basically are in this big panel van, well, this big like probably like 18-foot truck. Um, and there's a hole in the top. And at one point, they're charging onto the base, and they're working with the local science teacher, and he he copied the RF signal from the gate so that he could copy it and open it remotely and stuff. And so he does that, and they go in, and as they're going in, all these military people are coming out and starting to shoot at him. And one of the
Shouldn't have the
teenagers,
kids?
yeah, well, they're shooting at the truck because they don't know
Oh,
they
okay.
don't know that there's kids in there. They don't, and honestly, the way the show goes, they wouldn't care if there were kids in there. They would just shoot at it anyway. Uh, but Linda Hamilton is also playing the like bad ass military commander of the base.
Yeah,
Um,
it's funny. Somebody like I saw an interview or a blurb about how people have talked about. So they basically made a references to how she's aged
mhm.
and how she wasn't one to go and get a lot of plastic surgery and stuff like other actresses in Hollywood. And she's like, "Hey, this is the face that I was given, and this is what I'm working with." Like, and I was like, I had a lot of respect for her. She's like,
Yeah.
this
Well,
is it.
so um, Anyway, so as they go in though, all these military people are coming out. Out of the hole in the top pops out Nancy Wheeler. This girl, she's probably now in her early 20s,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 20 years old. She's
Little
graduated.
tiny
So
slip of a
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
little tiny slip of a thing. She pops out with an M16, just just taking out military personnel like it's nothing. I'm like, damn,
Nice.
Nancy is
Yeah.
fucking cold.
Yeah. 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 She's a cutie, man. I saw her. I saw her on that show, and I think I saw her in something else too, some coming of age story or something. But uh, so Sharon Stone and Nobody too, and she was looking rough. Man, it's wild how some actresses age very gracefully, go into their. Kathleen Turner ended up looking pretty, it
Selma
looks pretty
Hayek,
rough these days too.
Marissa Tomei,
Yeah, on the
those
other
two.
end,
Yeah,
those women,
yeah,
those
yeah.
ladies are like amazing. Almost fucking Salma Hayek was in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. She's 60.
Yeah.
She looks incredible.
Uh-huh.
You know, and yeah, Marissa Tomei still looks amazing. And
The
then you've got
hottest
some of
Aunt
these,
May we've ever seen.
absolutely. And then you've got some of these actresses that were huge sex symbols in the 80s and 90s, and they've just like yikes. I mean, everybody gets older, and God's bless them, but and not everybody decides to do to do the extreme things that you got to do to still, kind of look, half your age. But man, a few of them.
I, I haven't seen the Wrestler CD.
Oh man, Marissa Tomei is amazing in The Wrestler. She plays an older stripper,
Mm.
and that gets kind of hooks up with Mickey Rourke's wrestling character, and they meet each other, and they're both kind of like older, and they're you can tell they're frustrated with the fact that their lives didn't go the way they thought they were going to go, and so they're kind of commiserating about how they miss the 80s because of the music. They miss
Oh,
the
well, I might have
80s.
to watch that then, CD.
Yeah,
You said
they
she's
miss
very
the
nude.
80s. Oh yeah, yeah, she looks great though. It really does. I need to actually watch. I actually haven't seen the whole movie. I've only seen like half of it, but yeah, it's really good.
You've only seen the nude parts.
Actually, I didn't. I missed that part. It was the movie that got kind of reinvigorated Mickey Rourke's career and showed. I mean, Marissa Tomei didn't have like a dead career, but she was very careful and very specific about what she did, has always done, and she got a lot of praise for her role in that. She might have gotten a Best Actress nomination for that too. I
Maybe.
think she got nominated.
I think I want to say I remember that she did.
Yeah, yeah, she like strips for the wrestler, and he like kind of falls for her and stuff. So, but yeah, it is there. I mean, Stranger Things is not meant to be realistic.
um, to see.
Yeah, it was an Oscar bait movie. I mean, I think I said it got a lot of attention. I've always been meaning to go and watch the whole thing. Like I remember seeing the end, and I remember seeing bits and pieces and parts and stuff. Like he trying to avoid his
She
landlord, fall
was.
into his
It
thing.
looks like she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
I thought so. So
Yeah,
been a while since
and
she won for Best My Cousin Vinny.
and Mickey Rourke got nominated for Best Actor in a
Right.
leading role.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It really is.
I might have to check it
So
out.
moving
Not
back,
just because she gets nude, but because I have heard it's a good movie and I kind
it's
of forgot about it.
yeah, really good film.
And I used to be
Um,
into wrestling, so
yeah, and it does actually have a lot of that kind of like behind the scenes kind of thing where you're seeing this guy who is a wrestler locally. He had some fame for a while in the big, but then he kind of fell from grace. I think he had some drug issues or whatever, and he was still trying to be relevant and as a wrestler, and it's a good movie, man.
looks like it's
Um,
on looks like it's on Netflix.
is it?
Yeah, because I just went streaming and it available on, and most of them are pay, and then it says Netflix. Watch The Wrestler.
Cool, cool, cool. Um,
How
so
the fuck would she fall for Mickey Rourke though? Dude
who
is
knows?
fugly.
Well, it definitely.
Oh,
Hang on.
you
Sorry.
cut out. You cut out there.
Yeah, I accidentally hit the mute section button. Anyways, got to move on.
Yep.
As we were saying about
But
Stranger
yeah,
Things, I
Stranger
mean,
Things.
it's
There's some
not.
really that right there was one of the big things that was probably the most unbelievable. Now,
Yeah.
there is a really touching moment. So in the show, the Robin character is gay. Um and that's come out. And most people know, a lot of people know that. And then
Which
and she
character?
Robin, she comes in the third season, the mall
Oh,
season.
okay.
She works um at the ice
Oh,
cream shop
she
with
worked at the ice cream shop with the.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
yeah. Her character develops a lot more. She stays through the rest of the season, rest of the
Hmm.
show, and she's actually, I really like her character. Her character's a lot of fun. Um, uh, and then in this season, a kind of a not so surprised. In this last episode, there's a really touching moment because Vecna kind of takes over Will again and threatens him and all this and makes him scared. And he comes out to his friends as being gay, to his friends
Oh,
and
Will
family.
comes out.
Yes, Will comes
Oh,
out
okay.
and basically says, "I want to show him that I'm not scared anymore." And they all have this big moment of hugging and you aren't losing me, his mom says, and or me or me or me or me, and then they all get up and hug him. And Max is there now, and she's like, you're gonna have to come over and hug me."
Yeah, because she's like in a wheelchair or something.
Yeah,
She got
yeah, because she's
got
been in
hurt.
a coma for a year.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen some imagery from this season. I just haven't. I gotta sit down. We're just watching so many things right now.
yeah.
Like
It's
Stella and I are
so yeah.
trying to watch, trying to rewatch the first season of The Pit, and we're
Mm.
getting into Peaky
Yeah, because
Blinders now.
that comes out in less than a week.
Yep,
Um,
exactly.
but yeah, CD, it's what they call Vecna. It's actually Henry is the person. It's also one. The first of the kids is Vecna. Um, but yeah, so I've got some theories on what's going to happen in the last episode. I think I see a couple things that are going to happen, but I will be watching that probably tomorrow, actually, when it comes out.
For
Um,
sure.
so yes, but we should probably move on.
But
So
it is a great show. It
it
is
is
partially responsible uh for the you know the renaissance of tabletop role playing games, specifically D&D. Um, I like to. I actually credit Critical Role largely for it, and the other live session play games on Netflix. Truly, I mean on YouTube. Truly is what really did it. But you can't deny that the kids playing D&D on one of the most popular and making it a major kind of story element. Um, on one of the most popular television shows in the last
right.
like 10 years is that's
Well,
you gotta hand it some bit to that.
and they kind of get away from D&D in the second and third seasons.
Yeah,
They still reference it, but they kind of get away from that, and then they bring it back full force in season 4. Because
right,
season 4, it's all about their D&D group, the Hellfire Club, and it's
right,
their
yeah,
school D&D club, and
yeah.
and
There's
that
even a
that's when they introduce Eddie Munson, and it's
Mhm.
just his character is actually, at first you're like, he's an asshole, and then later on you're like, no, you know what, he's actually one of the best characters in this show.
Yeah, and there's now a box set,
Yes.
a D&D box set that's based on the game they were playing
Hmm.
in that season that
Yep.
he was running.
Escape from Carteraz, I think it is. You can finish the module.
Hmm.
Caritas, the world where they are.
Exactly. So, all right, what do you want to talk about next?
Well, there's been a couple of drops of trailers. I have
Yes,
a feeling we're gonna get like one a week now that I'm seeing, now that they've
for
had.
now, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get one per week for Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, the
Um,
next one we're probably getting is probably an X-Men related one. They've already kind of hinted there's been some leaks. But the first one was showing Captain America, the return
mhm.
of Steve Rogers.
No dialogue,
None,
just music,
just music, and
and
it's
and
it's pretty
and
great.
yep, showing him
Um,
with a child, and
holding a baby. getting on his motorcycle. Basically,
I like that he has a Triumph.
yeah,
I'm a
for
big
sure.
fan of the Triumph
Yeah.
motorcycle. So
It looks like, I mean, and I guess the
American
Russo
made.
brothers, even like said recently, um, that was the first one. They even said recently, uh, they explained why they brought Cap back, and they say it was always going to come back to this. Why they brought Steve Rogers back, um, and let's see, they've broken their science on a return instant and provided an insight as why they've chosen to bring Steve Rogers back after giving the character a definitive ending in Avengers Endgame. The character that changed our lives, the story that brought
Oh,
us
that's
all
right.
here together. It was always going to come back to this. With less than a year till Avengers Doomsday releases in theaters, the countdown is on to the MCU's Hail Mary following years of diminishing returns. So we'll see. The second
Well,
trailer was, of course, I just watched it before the show, was the Thor one.
yes, I just watched it before the show as well.
Yeah. Now
That
this one
one's
had
interesting.
dialogue.
This one had
Hmm.
dialogue, and it's
It's him
Thor
praying.
is praying to his father.
Hmm.
Now, one of
Yeah.
the things, did you notice one of the big things though?
Mm-mm.
He has two eyes.
Well, he's had two eyes.
Oh, has he? I thought he lost his
Yeah,
eye in the
he had a
in the.
he had a cybernetic replacement.
Oh, okay. I
Hmm.
didn't remember that,
Um,
but I think
interest.
I've forgotten a lot about Love and Thunder. So
Well, that and I gotta admit, I'm kind of glad they kept some of that storyline. I mean, Love and Thunder was silly. I thought there were definitely good parts. But it was an example of maybe letting Taika Waititi have a little too much, a little too much
a
control.
little too much fun.
A little too much fun with what he was doing.
Yeah.
Because there were some, I mean, the comedy, there was some stuff there that looked like, man, this was going to be hilarious, or I see what he was trying to do here. Um, Christian Bale's performance
Christian
was
Bale's performance
was
was the
great.
best thing in the entire fucking movie.
It really
I think he
was.
was great as what's his name?
As Gore the God
Gore,
Butcher.
yeah, Gore. I'm like, I
Um,
couldn't think of it. I'm like, it's the God Butcher. I can't think of his
yeah.
name.
He was really good, and the stuff with Jane and this being Lady Thor and um Tessa Thompson trying to run Asgard and what New Asgard and stuff like that. Some of the stuff was really funny. Unfortunately, it just rang too much of a comedy and not enough
The
of the
Greek
other
stuff
stuff.
was too much. I think the way that they ran that, like them
The
stripping
city, the
him,
city
yeah,
of the
well, and then
gods.
just stripping him down,
Yeah,
and I'm
and
like
the
that.
fainting, and there
Yeah,
was, yeah. I thought Russell Crowe was really funny as Zeus, but he ended up coming across again as well a little too goofy.
hmm
I really would have loved to have seen Hercules in it, I mean, we only got a tease of
yeah.
Hercules at the end, and I hope we eventually do see him
It's
in
Brett Goldstein
right from
from Ted Lasso
Ted Lasso.
and Shrinking.
Um,
He's in Shrinking as well.
is he in Shrinking? Okay, that guy's great. So hopefully we'll see some more of that. But yeah, it was just there were time a little too much. But I do like the fact that it ended with Thor basically taking on the caring of this child, being a parent to this child, and we saw Jane basically go to Valhalla. So it's entirely possible that we see her again. I did like some of those elements. It was just unfortunately it just wasn't great
The
altogether.
screaming
It's like,
goats. Ah!
yeah, it was like really good. It was like when you're reading a mini series of comics where each individual issue is good, but then they fuck up the ending. Or I liken it to maybe the DC miniseries Final Crisis, where Final Crisis itself wasn't great, but the satellite minis that were part of it were pretty cool. So it was just like it had good parts and pieces, but the
The
overall thing didn't work out. So anyway,
the Stormbreaker kind of just
yeah,
doing the
making Stormbreaker and Mjolnir more or less like actual characters. I'm like, listen,
yeah Stormbreaker
it's
just
okay.
floating in at one point. Just
Yeah, like a jealous
yeah
like a jealous new like Thor is still misses his old hammer,
Hmm.
his old girlfriend and stuff. Um, so anyway, I mean, overall, I'm glad they're keeping that element, and we'll see. I think this will be the swan song, I think, for him. He has said, Chris Hemsworth has said he'd love to continue to play
Oh
Thor
yeah,
for as long as
forever.
possible because he loves playing Thor. But I think we're probably going to see the end of these actors playing these characters.
Hmm.
I think, as we've talked about it before, I think we're going to see recastings around after Doomsday, and then when we get into
Secret
Secret
Wars.
War, that's when everybody is going to be recast.
Yeah.
These actors that are playing the
Uh,
X-Men, they're done.
yeah. Well,
They've
that's
done
the
it.
thing. I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a complete reboot of the entire universe.
Yeah,
Is what we're going to see, and
we have to.
that'll let them recast everyone
Mhm.
and
Yep.
not and combine all the worlds. So now we'll have X-Men and Avengers and things like that all in the same world.
And
And
the
then we can
Fantastic Four.
then we'll actually get the X-Men versus Avengers at some point.
Correct. I mean, I think we'll keep the same Fantastic Four. They're not going to recast them.
It-
I'll bet you
that's what I'm
they're going to
trying
be
to
the only ones. They're going to be the only ones that are going to.
they might be, but that's the thing is I'm wondering if they're even going to survive because their world is so different. I don't know that they're going to come into the new world.
When they reboot the universe, they're gonna. It'll be like the 616. You know,
Yeah, we'll
I'll
see.
bet. I'll bet some will survive. I'll bet you Tom Holland will still be Spider-Man because he's young and he can still play him and he's popular. I think. I think the Fantastic Four will remain. These actors will remain as the Fantastic Four. Um, but I think the original guys are done.
Yeah, I'm reading CD's comments. Never CGI their faces on some monkeys. Get them out there. I want member berries. Why reboot? I hate that. Well, they have to reboot because they want to keep using those characters, Captain America and
Correct.
Iron Man and all those, and
Hmm.
they need to reboot to. They won't do the same stories. They're not going to go
No,
back and redo like the original Iron Man story or anything like that.
no,
We're not going to I don't think we're going to get origin stories again. We're going to get
no.
continuation stories with new characters.
Yeah, exactly. They'll continue on,
It'll let them
doing.
bring Black Widow back if they want.
Yeah,
That'll
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if some of the younger actors stay on. I think Sebastian Stan will probably pass. I think we'll get a new Rhodey. We'll get a new most of the older actors. I'll bet
Mhm.
you Benedict Cumberbatch, he could continue playing Doctor Strange for a while, but I think he'll probably bow out. I think
I
after
don't
this
know who they're
time
going to
around.
get that'll be as good as him though. He was so perfect as
He was really good. He was really good.
he
Um,
had the look, he had the voice. I mean, he was I loved him as Strange.
he was great. He was really, really good. I gotta admit, just fantastic. I was a little skeptical at first, and then I'm like, nope, perfect. Did a great job.
He was the arrogant asshole
Yep.
and then turning into the Sorcerer Supreme. I thought he was great.
Oh, he was perfect. It's not easy, stepping into an iconic character like that. I mean, granted, thankfully there hadn't been too many other there had been one other guy that had ever played on like a terrible 70s TV movie he played as Stephen Strange. It was not good. And but other than that, it had always been he'd been animated. So, Cumberbatch was able to kind of step in and define it. Kind of like the way the same way where a lot of these actors did. I mean, nobody ever really played Tony Stark before in live action. There really wasn't much in the way of Thor. We got a Thor in an old Hulk movie back in the
Yeah,
day. Um,
we got a nobody played Captain America as good as Chris Evans in live action because the Captain America we had back in the 70s was not good.
Not good. And
Well,
the one in the 90s wasn't great either.
the one in the 90s, I don't think did they ever even release that?
It was released on video.
Okay. I never saw
Yeah.
it, but
Matt Salinger playing Steve Rogers, and whew, yeah, it was bad. The Red Skull was not German, he was Italian. So yeah, there was a it was a, you know, a fascist from Italy, and yeah, it was not good, not good at all. So anyway, I do think I agree. I think they're going to reboot, and I think most of the older actors will probably go.
But so what we were talking about earlier, you brought it up, and I agree with you in that what really sucks is they're putting these out a year ahead of time.
Hmm.
So all we're gonna get for the next 11 months, 24 days, whatever it is, because they actually had the countdown on the Thor thing,
Mm-hmm.
um, or 16 days, something like that. Anyway, there we're gonna get is fucking fan theories about what's going to happen, like we're talking about. You're
Constant.
gonna have to listen to us talk about theories for the next
Hmm.
11 months.
Yep.
Um, and then and what I really don't like is that because even finding these trailers on YouTube right now is difficult because if you
Oh
search
yeah,
for like Doomsday trailer, all the first five are all like fan made trailers and
and they're all AI. They're
all
all
a yeah
AI
and all AI
bullshit.
yeah AI bullshit trailers.
Hmm.
It's like and then you get down to the here's an official one because I look at them like okay that trailer junkie nope IGN okay that one's probably legit.
Hmm.
I look
Yeah.
for who put it out. Okay.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
Marvel Studios put that one out. Okay. Or
This is on
IGN put that
Disney.
one
All
out.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Disney fan, nope, that's not the right one. That's know, uh that type of thing. So yeah,
Yep.
it's be careful what you're watching because there are a lot of um fan made trailers out there.
Yep. Precisely.
And if they're right now, if they're more than like 2 minutes long, it's not official.
Right. No, I mean that's the thing. These are just teaser trailers, so these
Yep.
are literally 90 seconds,
Yep.
you know.
Yep. So one of the things now here talking about theories, one of the things I'm wondering is, will we get Captain America and uh um uh Peggy Carter, Captain Carter, as
Mm.
well in Doomsday?
I don't think so. I think Peggy Carter is Dunzo. I mean, if she were to show up like from some alternate universe, that would be fucking awesome. But Steve is traveling through time, I believe, to show up again. So I don't think we're getting evil Steve because there was a theory that he was going to show up as the evil
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra Steve, and that's I don't think that's going to be the case. So yeah. Um, Dude, I'm fucking jazzed, man. I think it's going to be great. I have a feeling. I mean, with the Russo brothers involved, they're really great storytellers. So I think they're going to be fucking fantastic. Um, So, guys, we'll try and keep it to a minimum when it comes to the various theories and whatnot, but it will be something that we will be discussing from time to time. It is going to be one of the biggest superhero movies of all time. Everything that everybody's saying, it's like this incredible thing. They're done in principal photography. Like the actors are finished.
Oh, are they?
If I believe so. Um, at least I think so. Yeah, because if it's out in a year, yeah, of course they are. If it's
Oh
out in
yeah.
a year, then they're going to be spending the next year polishing up and doing all the special effects and then getting ready to, you know, do the marketing push.
The
So
CGI will take years.
it's going to take quite a while.
All
Um,
I want is don't fuck up Doom. That's my only request. Don't fuck up Doom. If he takes his mask off, it better not be a pristine fucking Robert Downey Jr. face.
RDJ.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It needs to be scarred, it needs to be burned, it needs to look bad. And
Okay.
honestly, I don't need to see it at all. He can leave his mask on the entire fucking time and I'm fine with that.
They won't, he won't, but
I
I
know.
am also fine with that. You know, you don't see Doom's face. That's the
No.
thing.
Yeah.
You've never seen the only time we've seen Doom's face is when it's not scarred, when it was healed for by some way, shape, or form, you know. When the Beyonder, when he healed it, when he took the power of the Beyonder in Secret Wars, or when he healed it after the more recent Secret Wars, and he was a good guy for a while. And when he took over as the infamous Iron Man or something like that, or because Tony was one of the times Tony was dead, and Doctor Doom was like, we need an Iron Man, and he was doing it largely for Valeria Richards, because he is Reed Richards' daughter's godfather,
Hmm.
and he was like, and she pretty much asked him, she's Uncle Doom or Uncle Victor, do you think maybe you can, I mean, can we try this? Can we try being, because I've said this multiple times. If Doctor Doom, if Victor Von Doom was to choose to be a good guy, he would be the most powerful, the best, superhero in Marvel, because he is a brilliant scientist. With a hyper advanced suit of armor. He is a
Sorcerer.
sorcerer at the level of Doctor Strange. He is, I mean, if he could just get out of it, he is the benevolent dictator of his own nation. I mean, if he could just get out of his own way and get away from his ego, he could
So
be an incredible superhero.
the Wing said, I thought Doom just had a small scar that he blew out of proportion.
See, that's what some people have said, is that, and that's what it was at first. When he first was scarred in the accident in college that caused him to get kicked out of college and whatnot, it was just a small, like, marring of his, just a little scar over his eyebrow or something. But to him, it was a mar in his perfection.
He's so vain.
Yeah. And you bet you think this song is about him. And he
Yeah.
he ended up just fully scarring his face afterwards, so that he was truly, hideous to look at. So, but yeah, that's what we got to look forward to. I think, it could be good, but it's just going to be a long drag.
It
It's
is.
it The worst part, as much as I love these movies, that's what they've done to us over the years. We just they tease us and they tease us and they tease us, and then we got to wait, and it sucks. Um, so let's see. It's 9:30. What do you want to do next? What do you want to talk about
So I
now?
just saw that I haven't seen anything on this yet, and I got to go. Why? Um, they're coming out with Godzilla X Kong Supernova. What? Why? Why do we need more Godzilla Kong movies?
Because they're successful. People like them and they make money. And I mean,
I was fine with like Godzilla versus Kong because that actually happened back in the day too.
and it was
And
cool. The
yeah,
new one was pretty good. I mean, I liked Kong Skull Island. That was pretty cool because that
yeah.
established a new Kong. It established him as being way bigger
Hmm.
than he had been before. I mean, he was, because Godzilla was as big as was, bigger than skyscrapers.
Hmm.
King Kong was not. King Kong originally was like big enough to climb a skyscraper.
Yeah,
Now the
he was
new
bigger than
King
Mighty Joe
Kong,
Young, but he was,
but he still
but he was,
wasn't.
yeah, he could still
Yeah.
fit a woman in his hand, but he was probably, I would say 50, 60 feet, I think was the original Kong.
Yeah,
Was
somewhere between 40 and 60 probably. He was still really big, but he wasn't larger than a skyscraper, which is what Godzilla is. Um
let's see.
in the new
Uh
movie, they made him absolutely
oh,
ginormous.
actually it said the original King Kong 1933 varied in size starting around 18 feet tall on Skull Island and scaling up to about 24 feet tall in New York.
Okay. So we were both thinking a little bit
Yeah.
bigger, too big, but um
And the promotional materials often stated a more impressive 50 feet tall for marketing.
yeah. But now he's 50 stories tall, and that kind of thing. So um it, it's cool. I like it. The wild thing is they've been doing these King Kong and Godzilla tie-ins in the comic books lately, or Marvel Comics, where like Godzilla becomes a Herald of
Okay.
Galactus and shit like this.
What
These
was
these
that?
what ifs. They've been doing these wild like minis and what ifs and stuff, like Justice League versus the Godzilla, and Justice League versus Kong versus Godzilla, um and then Marvel's been getting in on it too and doing these different crazy things, because I mean, which is weird considering, like, I can't remember who owns the IP for both Godzilla or King Kong, but you'd think they'd be in one in either DC or Marvel and not both,
Hmm.
you know. So, in fact, we've been
So
seeing a lot of crossovers lately, a lot of crazy stuff. Like, there's some Aliens and Predator crossovers into the comic books lately as well.
so just for grins, I looked up the how tall is King Kong? The original 1933, around 18 to 24 feet.
Hmm.
1976 remake, 42 feet on Skull Island, 55 feet in New York. Um, King Kong, there must be more gravity on Skull Island. King Kong lives in
Magic,
1986.
bro.
Yeah. King Kong lives in 1986, 60 feet. Peter Jackson's King Kong, 25 feet, more realistic gorilla size. Kong Skull Island, Monsterverse, 104 feet.
Yeah.
And Godzilla versus Kong, 335 feet.
Jesus Christ. How did he get so much bigger in the time? And I mean, granted, Kong Skull Island, the new one, took place in like right after Vietnam, but in 40 years or 50 years, how did he get, like damn near double in size?
I say
Like, fuck.
it says 335 feet in parentheses to battle Godzilla.
He's too big. Exactly. Um,
I mean,
I
come on,
don't.
let's face it. I mean, if he was at his like 104 feet, he'd just run up and donkey punch Godzilla. It just
Right. Yeah, exactly. I thought they were fun though. They were great. I like the lore too about how it created the idea of the like tunnels, the hidden world under the underground that they could travel around the world in, and that's how Godzilla and some of these giant apes and there's other giant apes who was able Godzilla's or King Kong were able to see the other giant apes and
Oh yeah, I
Godzilla
haven't seen any
still.
of that. I haven't watched a lot of those. I mean,
I
I
didn't
was a
see the
huge
most
Godzilla.
recent one.
I was a huge Godzilla fan as a kid, and now I watch them and I'm like, these are just like the newer
Well, that's
ones,
the
and I'm
thing.
like, these aren't that good. I watched -1, and it was okay, but I almost
Minus
turned it off
one,
because I
I
thought it
haven't
was
watched it
boring.
yet.
I
I
thought it was
heard it was
boring.
good. Really?
Um,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Godzilla and King Kong, they fight at first, but then they team up to
yeah.
fight a bigger enemy. And then I guess that's what happens in the new one too. There's another giant ape that comes on that he's way more dangerous and whatever, and so they team up again. And Godzilla, that like he goes to sleep, like he hibernates and
Hmm.
he wakes up when the world needs him. And King Kong is just always around. So I don't know, man. But I think it's crazy and entertaining, and you got to dig the Titans, man. They're fun.
The kaiju.
Speaking of movies, the new Avatar film is doing very well worldwide. It's upwards of yeah, it's approaching over $1 billion worldwide.
Whoop-de-doo.
It's amazing, man. These phenomenons. It's a reason why the Golden Globes added this, movie achievement award or whatever the fuck it is for basically to recognize when these movies that maybe aren't the greatest cinematic masterpieces still end up doing very well financially and are beloved by the public. Zootopia 2 is one of them too that's been nominated. There's been a bunch of them. There's like 8 movies nominated for this uh, you know popcorn award or whatever the fuck it is. I've heard some people, heard some of the reviews about this new Avatar film is that it is probably the best of the three, or at the very least, it's a much better sequel than two, and it's continuing the lore. I mean, there still is plans to make number four and number five, and if this movie continues on track to make the money it's making, shit, it's definitely gonna make they're definitely make four and five. Have you been watching Fallout? Did you watch the second episode
Yes,
of Fallout?
yes, we did watch the second episode of Fallout. Still a good show.
Oh yeah.
Um, Entertaining. Seeing where it's going, I'm curious. Um, it's a harsh world.
Yeah.
The
I like how they haven't softened him at all, like the ghoul at
ghoul. Oh
all.
yeah, no.
Like even you'd think maybe like traveling with her for a little bit of time, maybe he'd gotten a little bit less of an asshole. No, not really.
Oh, the scorpion comes out in what is the first episode? And he's
Oh
just
man,
like, he just grabs that woman and like throws her over top of him, so he gets hit with the stinger
that
instead of him.
was the beginning. No, that was the beginning of this current
Oh, was it
episode.
the
Yeah,
beginning of the second one? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He just uses her as a shield, and then she's like, "What the fuck, man?" And then she uses the only stim pack they had on her, and she's like, "You'll be fine."
Yeah, yeah,
She
you'll
won't.
live. She won't.
And um, I think he's going to end up having to ride to her rescue with these because it's a raider gang. She
Yeah.
basically reunited this girl with a raider gang and a dangerous one at that. But yeah, it's a dangerous, scary, harsh world. Um, it was. I mean, I got to say though, they've been really building on the lore, which is pretty crazy and pretty good. Like showing the one town that had rebuilt in the shadow of Los Angeles, and you're like, where Maximus was from originally, and they had kind of created a pretty decent. They were part of the Commonwealth, if I remember correctly, but they had created a pretty decent like home. Had rebuilt a lot of the society, and of course the Vault Tech people didn't like it because it wasn't theirs and they didn't make
Mm-hmm.
it. They were and fucking bombed the shit out of them,
Yep.
like blew up a fucking nuke. And
In the
you're
middle of
like
town.
in the middle of town, and everybody died. Now the kid survived by staying in the fridge, which
Which we
has
know from
since
Indiana Jones can happen.
can happen apparently.
Oh wait, no, that
But
never happened. That was on the coaster. That was
from what I understand, that although because a lot of those things were lead lined, you would still cook.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah, the heat
the,
would still get you.
the heat would get you and you'd cook. So yeah, it might protect you from the radiation at first. Plus, those fridges locked when the door shut, they were locked. That's why they don't make them like that anymore because
Mm-hmm.
kids died climbing into refrigerators, old refrigerators that had been left in junkyards and whatever else, and fucking suffocated.
Well, you got to take the door off the refrigerator now.
Yeah. Even fridges now
Yep.
that
Like you
aren't
can just push open.
that you can just
Yes,
push open. Even with the slight vacuum seal that they make, they're not that strong. You could push them open. But I tell you, I am loving it so far. I'm loving more and more how they're showing how horrible her father was and is. Um, how his son is trying to like he started waking up a whole bunch of those assistants to basically those people that had been frozen to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And it cracked me up because they were
Is it
all
Reclamation Day?
yeah, is it really amazing? They all seemed like they were like junior execs and like
Mm-hmm.
assistants and secretaries, and they weren't the high powered ones that he woke up. They were the ones that were like they were the administrative assistants. They were the
They were the lower end
they were the
executives.
C level
Well, no,
management.
C level is your corporate level. That's like your CEOs, your CFOs, your CTOs. They weren't there. They were the juniors. They were the up and comings. They were the low level managers and stuff for the
All right.
company.
I would just say like that like the CEOs would be like the
Oh
A
well,
level.
so
That's what I
in
meant.
corporate speak, it's the C level executives are the highest level.
Right. Okay. But I meant more like they're
It's
like
the C suite. It's the
sure. But I was saying like these guys are more like three tiers down from them or four, but it was still but uh it's wild to how they glamorize this corporate worship, that
mm-hmm.
these people bought into the corporate line
Live
of
and die for the
vault.
company.
hmm And it's really a big part of that whole, lore of that system and that game and
Well,
everything.
it's
And
very very 50s.
yes,
You bought into a company, you bought into their culture, you stayed with that company, and the company took care of you. That's not
it's
the
where
case anymore.
right. It's where the term company man came
Mm-hmm.
from. And because yeah, if you were
I'm a
back
company man.
then, I'm a company man, and they would your the pensions were solid, things like that. Um, in the definitely in the 50s. But then, you know, greed is
Yep.
good. You know, Reaganomics happened, things like that. People don't care about these companies don't care about people as much anymore,
Nope.
not near.
No,
Although I will say things are starting to cycle back a
yes.
little.
Yes, Wings. When the companies had back when the companies had to reinvest into the company.
Right. Yeah, because they were forced to. But then,
Yeah. You reinvest back in
Reagan,
the company or you got taxed at like 90%.
right. Reaganomics happened and then it
Actually,
fucked
it
our
started
system.
I saw a thing it was a economics professor talking that it wasn't Reagan that started it. It was Nixon actually
Oh, yeah.
who
Okay.
started he started the ball rolling. Reagan made it worse.
Right. Sounds about right. Um, but yeah, they now when, these companies that are paying like 10% of taxes or they're paying like 10% of what they're supposed to or none at all
Yeah.
because they're just feeding the stockholders and feeding the CEOs and the big
Hmm.
people at the top, and trickle down did not fucking work. I don't want to get on a rant here. It is just pretty wild though, and but that's the thing. The Fallout games are largely a commentary on a satire and commentary on American culture in a lot of ways. It's pretty wild. But I'm just fucking enjoying the shit out of it though. It's so cool. They really have nailed it. But yeah, I knew as soon as he had taken, had tasted that, killed that guy and tasted him, and then he started getting sick and he looked and he was the guy who had obviously been poisoned. And I'm like, oh shit, Radscorps. And seeing that giant rad scorpion, I'm like, oh God. And then also seeing like the structure of the Brotherhood of Steel, watching them come together to discuss having some kind of revolution and or rebellion against the Commonwealth. And I was like, oh, if we try and break free from the Commonwealth, they'll kick our asses. And they're like, well, not if we all join together. And I'm like, the Brotherhood has their whole thing in the game. The Brotherhood collects like pre-war technology, preserves it, and makes it work again. That's the reason why they have these big suits of armor. It's why they have the vertibirds. It's why they have the flying fortresses and stuff like that. Now the Commonwealth has some of those
Helicarriers.
too. Yeah,
That's
the
really what they
Commonwealth
are.
has some of those too, but still, I'm like, really? You're scared, afraid to go up against them? I don't know. Still, it was it's pretty goddamn cool seeing Kumail Nanjiani come in at the end there and say the Commonwealth sends its regards. I guess our invitation got lost in the mail, and yet here you are.
Yeah.
And so I hear we're talking rebellion. I'm
So
like, oh
so
man,
is
that's
so the
cool.
Commonwealth's not just another like branch of the Brotherhood?
No, they
Okay.
are what is sort of established as a loose government, a loose confederation of some of the city states, I guess, basically.
Okay.
And
Having not actually played the games, I don't know a lot of the lore.
no, the Commonwealth is the closest thing to kind of the good guys. I mean, there's no good guys in Fallout. I mean, not really. I guess the Minutemen are the closest you could get to good guys. They're a loose confederation of like good guys, of lawmen that are trying to maintain some civility and some law basically in the wasteland. And I mean, there's in Fallout 4, there's four factions you can join. And one of them is the Brotherhood of Steel. There's also you can either join or fight with or fight against, and you can fuck them all if you want. I mean, there's like at least five or six serious different endings, and um, but yeah, the Minutemen work for the Confederation. Excuse me, and
Don't
so
start
yeah,
that,
they're
man. You're gonna make me
oh,
start yawning.
sorry, yeah. I don't know, my sleep schedule's all the way weird and off and stuff. Um, so anyway, they're doing a great job. They've actually even said Bethesda has even said, Todd Howard at Bethesda has said that Fallout 5 will have elements of the TV show integrated into the story. And I'm like, cool. All right. Fucking A. Right on, man. Let's see it. So, I mean, Fallout 3 took place in um, Boston and Washington, D.C., I think. Um, or was it Philly? I think it was Philly and Washington. Fallout 4 is the Boston area. Fallout 76 takes place in Arkansas and in the basically in the Appalachian Mountains. Um, I'd love to see like Fallout Los Angeles. Let's see what
which
it's
is
like
kind
over
of what
there,
we've got.
which is what we've got in the
Okay,
show, right?
yeah. Yeah, they're out
It was
west.
hilarious when they come out of Vault 31. Oh, the mall's gone. That's what you're saying. This kid who led them out has never seen the real sky before. These people get out of the vault and they're like, "Oh, the mall's gone." You see fucking massive devastation in front of you, but the mall is the fact the mall's gone is what. Yeah, all right.
Well, the fact that the Brotherhood's in Area 51, I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. They find that alien body and they're like,
Yeah,
"Wow,
and they're like,
a real freezer."
yeah, it's like, wow, look at this. And they grab the body and just throw it out. And then they're
Fucking
like,
freezer. Yeah,
and they're
that's
like,
what
it's
they're.
a real freezer.
Or they find that car. They find that
Oh, yeah.
in that complete, like, just pristine car. Let's see what this baby can do, and they just blow it the fuck up. You know those that armor is practical.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they made that armor. I saw an interview with the guy who plays Maximus, and he goes, "Yeah, it's heavy. It's like it's heavy." And he's like, "There's a lot. You know, it's probably not all solid steel. It's probably, you know, because they don't have servo motors to run it. It's probably, but it's still there's probably a lot to it, and still probably pretty heavy."
So CD says that I barely remember the end of the Fallout game I played. It was the best one, the one with a nuke in town.
So that's
in DC, I think.
Yeah, that's Fallout 3.
Yeah, I remember finding an alien ship in my playthrough.
Yes. Oh, man, was that 3 or 4? Because there's parts of it. Because I believe you go to Boomtown in Fallout 4 as well. I can't remember. It's been so long. I've been meaning to do another playthrough, but I'm trying to get to some of these games I haven't
It was
played
ranked
yet.
the best. I thought New Vegas was ranked the best, and that was just DLC.
New Vegas is considered story-wise one of the best. I actually have that on my computer right now, and I was playing through it a little bit. Yeah, super fun. I mean, they're a blast. They are really a lot of fun. New Vegas is also more like it's not full DL. It's a full game, but it's really more of like DLC. It's like a large DLC. It's more like how there was the Spider-Man game, and then there was Spider-Man Miles Morales, and then there was Spider-Man 2. It's more like the Miles Morales game, where it's like it's a shorter game.
Okay.
But there is a lot of stuff to do. It's pretty cool.
So,
But speaking of games, I did real quick. I did start a new game. It's called. I finally got to one of the games on my shelf, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and
okay.
it
I
is
remember
fucking
talking
hilarious.
about this before.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. It's basically you're playing D&D with Tiny Tina from the Borderlands game, and two of her cohorts, Valentine and this robot. I can't remember. The robot is voiced by Wanda Sykes. So you've got this robot that sounds like an older black lady comedian. And then Andy Samberg, Andy Samberg does the voice of Valentine. And I'm playing through and I'm like, holy shit, that's Andy Samberg, you know? But the cool thing is yeah, you're playing this goofy version of D&D where she's kind of making it up as she goes along, and you're the player, and so you're playing the game as she's describing it. And there's like the queen of this nation is a two-horned is a binacorn because it's got two horns, made out of diamond. And it's crazy. And she gets killed at one point. The bad guy carts off her head, and he's got this sparkling, binacorn head, and He's the Dragon Lord, and it's so cheesy, but it's really hilarious. And the thing is, the overworld, because you're in the little towns and stuff, and you go into the overworld, and the overworld is built like it's made like it's the map that she built for you to play on. So there's like bottle caps here. Your little guy is walking across a bottle cap to get across that's the bridge. And there's a Cheeto here that she put in as part of the to block off part of this thing, and there's like a dice here, and there's a dice over there, and there's like, just and there, but there's also like little trees and little mountains that she made and all this other shit. It's really fucking cute. But it is also because it is a Borderlands game. There's a lot of like weapon drops and stuff, so you're constantly like, is this better or is that better? Do I, whatever. And you
Another
know,
series of games that I've always wanted to play and never played was Borderland games.
I've never played through a full Borderlands game. I've played a little bit on like I was playing on my friend's game one time, and I was like, okay, I get this, but it is a lot of running around shooting things, but it's hard. It's not, it's been fun so far. And I think I'm at level like my character's at like level 10 or 11 or 12 or something like that. Um and I know something unlocks at level 40, so I know it can get there. Um it's highly entertaining. I definitely am enjoying myself. So D gets like most things when you get old. Thanks, CD. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Look, I
Start
also played.
start and end in diapers.
I just finished Baldur's Gate. I was looking for something a little light.
Yeah, I'm actually
It's
I'm
silly.
still
It's
I'm
a
still
really
thinking
silly game.
I'm still thinking about downloading or getting Expedition 33.
It's on my shelf. That's coming up. I've got a bunch of games. I got the new Indiana Jones game, which I've heard amazing things about. I've got the new Star Wars Outlaws. The new Lego Batman comes out in March.
Yeah, the
Definitely gonna get that.
Outlaws I got bored with really quick. Star Wars Outlaws I actually got bored with pretty quick.
Okay.
It's a lot of riding around and just trying to find things.
I've heard good and bad. I've heard that it was,
It's a lot of
as
sneaking. If you like a sneaking game,
yeah, I heard there
that's
was a lot of it is very much a stealth game.
which I
Um,
like. I like a stealth game, but
mhm.
I like a stealth game where I can also pop somebody from 100 meters.
Yes, you were a big fan of Far Cry, so
Yes, I'm a sniper.
uh so yeah,
Borderlands too. Or not Borderlands. Oh, what the fuck's it called? Ghost Recon games.
hmm,
Or Ghost Recon and
Call of Duty,
no, I actually didn't like Call of
Counter
Duty. I tried
Strike.
that. Nope. Do. I'm blanking at it now because I'm thinking about something else. Um, is it this? Yeah, Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon.
I like those a lot. I did not finish the breakpoint that I had, and I kind of went back to it and started playing it again. And I'm like, yeah, I really do like this game, but it's just there's so much to do. It is a very long game.
Yeah.
You definitely get your money's worth. There is so much to that game.
Which game?
It's not Ghost Recon
Oh yeah.
Breakpoint. Ghost Recon
Hmm.
Breakpoint specifically. Uh John Barenthal is actually one of the
Oh yeah, yeah.
mocap voice actors in it.
Yeah.
He's one of the bad guys. Um and the it is shit, I had to have played 80 plus hours and I wasn't even close to the end yet.
Hmm. I've got the new God of
It's
War Ragnarok, the newer. I'd really love to replay. I want to replay, do a new playthrough of Fallout 4. I want to do, I'd love to revisit Red Dead Redemption 2. I've only played that once, and it's amazing.
I've got so many games that I
One of
never
the best games
played.
I've ever played.
Like I've got all the Kingdom Hearts games on my PS5 that I never played those back in the day.
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah,
Mm.
I've got I haven't finished Spider-Man the first one.
Oh man. Oh man, I tore through that game. So
I
good.
got kind of frustrated because when I would try and take out Fisk's stuff, I just kept getting killed over and over.
There's a learning curve.
So, but anyway, one of the things I wanted to cover real quick before we get out of here because it's 10 o'clock now.
Hmm.
I found an article. This shouldn't take too long, but we can talk about it more next week. Uh, Everything we know about Man of Tomorrow.
Oh, the new Superman.
Yes, it is
Uh-huh.
actually first. The name will be Man of Tomorrow, not Superman Man of Tomorrow,
Correct. Mm-hmm.
like originally thought. Coming out in 2027.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they basically said that it's going to be as much a Lex movie as a Superman movie.
Yes. Possibly that they're more or less going to have to team up.
Yeah, that's actually the plot. The plot
Mm-hmm.
of this sequel will have Superman and his arch nemesis Lex Luthor team up to take down a greater threat, which we know will be the
The
despotic alien android Brainiac.
Brainiac. Yeah, they've already cast him.
Yep, he's a
I don't know who it
German
is.
actor.
Mm-hmm.
His name is it's here. Where is Lars Eidinger.
Yes, that sounds right.
Um, but they also said based on the teaser art released by Jim Lee, to go with the title announcement, Lex Luthor will wear his comic book accurate war suit in the film.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm down. I think it's great. I they've done a bunch of things recently where they're trying to give Lex Luthor a face turn, like he's less of a bad guy. And I don't know if it's pressure from Warner Brothers to show like corporate guys are not all necessarily evil, because he's a fucking businessman. He's not Lex Luthor hasn't he yes he spends time and has spent time in prison because of the shit he's done, but ultimately he's a rich businessman.
He's an
And
evil businessman.
yeah, he is. He's an evil businessman, but he's rich, and that's what keeps him out of, the worst of the worst. And but every time, there's always turn around and he's like, he's a businessman, he's this, that, and the other thing. Um, it just seems like lately, several times they've tried to make him a good guy. More recently in the comics, he lost a lot of his memory and he lost a lot of that, like basically the evil got sucked out of him. And
Mr.
but he's still Lex Luthor to some extent, and he doesn't remember a lot of the shit that he
Luther,
did.
Mr. Luther.
But Superman was like, I still don't trust him. He's Lex. I don't trust him. But Superman still gives him a chance. And he turned while he was in prison. He turned LexCorp into SuperCorp, and was basically tasking LexCorp or SuperCorp into basically helping Superman in his mission. And so there was some cool stuff, but it was all a plan. It was all the plan. Um, it's like that because it's all ultimately Lex wants Superman to work for him so he can bring about his vision of the best world. And because that's the thing, ultimately Lex is really more about he doesn't want the world to end. He doesn't want to rule the world. He doesn't want whatever. He wants the world to be the best it could be with him in charge for the most part. He wants to be the guy that makes the world the best that it can be. Even if he's not the guy that's ultimately in charge.
He
He wants to
stopped
be
10 wars.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's who he'd be.
He's a malignant narcissist just like Donald Trump.
Yes.
And it's and he can't stand that somebody else, that this alien that can do all these amazing incredible things is more powerful and more effective and more than he is, because before Superman came around, Lex was the Ubermensch. So it's but so they in the comics they've done several things to try over the last like 10, 15 years to try and make Lex less of a bad guy, more of he even it changed when at one point when Superman was gone or dead or something, where he was thought he was gone again. He showed up in a red and blue suit of armor with a big S shield on his chest and tried to be,
Super
I'm going to
Lex.
stand in for Superman.
Super Lex.
And he more or less blackmailed the Justice League into allowing him to be a member, you know.
Yeah, because that's the good guy way to
Yeah,
do
exactly.
it.
He more or less
um,
forced him in.
But they basically said that pretty much the most of the cast has been that they know is coming back. There's no official word on the Daily Planet staff. They're kind of guessing that they are. But Corn Sweat's back, Brosnahan's back, Holt's
Hmm.
back,
Hmm.
Grillo's back, um, and Isabel Marced has confirmed that she's also flying back to Metropolis as Hawk Girl. But there's been no word on Guy Gardner or Mr. Terrific or Metamorpho.
Well, I guarantee if Edie doesn't come back as Mr. Terrific, he's making a big fucking mistake. He was a standout
He
in
was.
that show.
He really was.
If Nathan Fillion doesn't come back as Guy Gardner, again, big fucking mistake because
Well, he's going to be in Lanterns, so
yeah, but he's only in like 2 episodes.
oh, is he?
Yeah, he's not. Well, in the first season, but there is talk that each season is going to have different members of the Green Lantern Corps. So another season will probably have like, but there'll be pairs. So the next season will probably be like Guy Gardner and Kyle, and there could be another season with the what's his name? Well, there's so many of them, and I can't believe I'm blanking on the names right now. Yash, no, it's not Yara Flor. That's the Wonder Girl. But anyway, there's a female Green Lantern. Was she's Hispanic. She is God, I can't remember her name right now. And then there's the other guy, the other Green Lantern guy, who's actually Muslim from Dearborn.
Hmm.
And so they could have those characters, a Muslim guy from Dearborn. Yeah, that was a big deal actually when they made that.
Talking about is it Jessica Cruz?
Jessica Cruz, thank you. And yeah, because he was a Green Lantern that carried a gun, and he was like, "Well, sometimes this thing runs out of charge." Um, and they've even got a little like a girl. She was Kid Lantern for a little while. She had found this glove that was basically this ancient glove that was a precursor to the Green Lantern ring, and she'd found it on an alien spaceship. And she's actually from Brazil, but now she is training to be a Green Lantern herself. And so there's even Alan Scott. They could bring in Alan Scott, the Golden Age Green Lantern. I think that would be fucking awesome. So there's a lot going on. I'm sure that we're going to see a bunch of these other, some of those other um, side characters because they were great. One of the best parts about Superman Legacy was all of the guest characters, the side characters, and stuff
Hmm.
like that. I would love to see Hawk Girl get more screen time.
Yeah, I would.
Definitely.
I wanted her to get more screen time without that dumbass scream.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that, but she needs to be in. She needs to have more to do.
Yeah, she's actually a great actress. She was
Mm.
amazing in
Last of Us.
Last of Us. Yeah.
She's really great, really great.
So
Yeah, even though Warner Brothers is going through all this shakeup with potentially Netflix buying it and everything, they have flat out said that they were not planning on making any major changes to any of the major, movers and shakers in because people were like, well, what if they don't like what James Gunn is doing and they remove him and stuff, and they're like, how could they not like what he's doing? The shit has been super successful.
hmm
Everything he's doing has been great. The Superman movie was great. Creature Commando was fantastic. Um, Peacemaker knocked it out of the ballpark. Fucking this new Green Lantern show looks like it's going to be amazing. The only thing I'm concerned about, really, is this Clayface movie. But everybody, from what they're saying so far, they're like, "Oh, dude, this is going to be creepy as fuck." So we'll see. Um, the one other thing I wanted to say before we leave, dude, check out if you get the chance is this game Icarus that I'm playing. So one of the cool things that I like in some of my RPGs, if an RPG has a base building aspect like Fallout 4 does, I fucking love it. Let me make a base. Let me make a house, a tower, a castle, all that shit. I love it. And I love a game where in the game, as a, it may be an RPG, you may be able to, you may have all these things you got to do. But I love that you can make a base. Like in the Conan game, what's it called? Conan. I have it over here somewhere. Or maybe I don't have a thing on my desktop for it. But the Conan game is a similar kind of thing where, yeah, there's things you got to do, but then you can also go out. You got to get supplies and you got to get resources, and then you can build your house, and then you gain more knowledge and skills, and then you can improve that house into, it goes from being a hut to being a stone, a stone, hut. Then it becomes a bigger house, and then you make bricks, and then you get steel and all these other things. This game Icarus is is similar. You're basically dropped on a planet that was mostly um mostly terraformed, and you've got to do various different things, but you also have to mine and find iron, and then find and make steel and copper, and you got to chop down trees. And I've been making, and you can do a sandbox section where you're basically create a server and build a home. And that's what I've been kind of doing. And I think other people can like dial into my server and just like show up if they want, but I think I've got it set for friends only.
Hmm.
And they can fuck up your shit if you want, or it can be a cooperative thing, But this game has been a lot of fun. I mean, it's basically digital Legos, I'm making a yeah. I haven't played much with base building except for a house in Skyrim type thing. That's cool, but you don't in Skyrim you don't get to like actually build the walls and construct and stuff. There's also another game, Enshrouded, that's been getting in my ads lately. That's an RPG that has some pretty impressive base building stuff that you can do. I've seen some of the images that I've been seeing from some of the things you can do with making these things and building these buildings and stuff in the game is pretty impressive. I think I'm going to end up picking that game up. The Steam sale goes until Monday. I'm guessing there's going to be a few purchases I'm gonna make. One of the things that I do to help make me feel better after I've spent a bunch of money on things that I don't want to spend it on, like my car or my taxes, retail therapy.
Yes, retail therapy.
Mhm. Well, we should probably wrap things up.
Yeah, we should.
It is a little after 10 after 10. We went about 2 hours. Guys, thanks for joining us again tonight on this oh so cold, oh so
Yeah,
expensive Tuesday.
we're not really getting the views on YouTube either. We've gotten one view on each of the last two, and I think those were both me just checking it out to make sure everything went where it went well. So,
Well,
although
tell
I
your
haven't
friends
been,
about
I
it.
haven't been posting it on Facebook or anything either, so for people to be able to find us. So I'll have to do that.
Keep at it, guys. We're still putting it. We're still every week here on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. Make sure to join us if you can. The stuff we are no longer posting the audio only on Spotify. We weren't getting the numbers, but we are still on YouTube, and then of course here on Twitch. So tell your
Yep.
friends about us. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to chime in on the
Like,
Facebook page or
yep.
wherever.
Like, subscribe, follow, depending on where you are, what you want to do.
Mhm.
We really appreciate it. And remember, you can follow us on most social medias. We are on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show, and everywhere else, just search for Drinking Nerds and find us.
Yes, drinking nerds, not drunken nerds, because we're
Yep.
not drunk.
No,
We're just drinking.
and we're just drinking.
So, all right.
All
Well,
right. So I think that's gonna about do it.
I think that'll do it.
Until next time,
Until next time,
Slainte.
Slainte.
All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Good night.